We're not finished yet with those little bubbles. I've got a couple more tricks to show you. Now that we've made the astronaut head, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a free bubble inside of the balloon to be able to travel up and down the length of the balloon. Let's start with our little bubble at the top. Here we go. Make sure, once again, it is not as wide there as it is there. It has to be able to go in and out easy. Use our 3-finger hold against the bubble, using our twist hand to push up. Use the 3 fingers to evenly push the balloon in. As soon as you get to the top, go to 1 finger like that, go all the way in as deep as you can go. Now, doing this little trick is about visualization. It's about realizing what you got to do. Now, you don't want to grab the bubble, you want to grab the finger. And you want to pretend like you want to pull that fingernail off. What would you do if you want to pull your fingernail off? And say you just want to pull the skin off the top of your finger. That's the way I want you to feel it. See how the bubble is on the other side? You're not pulling on the bubble, you're pulling the skin off your finger, okay? So once you do that, go up. And now you pulled the skin off your finger, or at least that's the way you want it to feel. The bubble is still there. You've got a little bit of scrap there. If you did it right, you'll end up with just enough scrap to be able to grab it, hold on, seal it, don't let the air out, and then release, and there's your bubble freely inside the balloon. See? Isn't that nice? Alright, now that you've got one bubble inside the balloon, suppose you want to put a second one in there. Well, you don't have to use a piece of that balloon in order to do the trick. You can take a bubble from another balloon and add it right in. It's no different, really. You just push it in the same way you did the first one, all the way in, all the way, there we go, 3 fingers, go to 1 finger, all the way down, yank that fingernail off your finger like that, and there we go with the second bubble. So now we have 2 bubbles floating inside the balloon. Now, if you have a balloon inflated all the way with very little neck, or with very little length left, you're probably good to put maybe 2 or 3 bubbles at the most, because every time you do it, the balloon gets a little tighter, unless you let a little air out, bleed it a little bit. So you can play around with that. So that is how you put the bubble inside the balloon, okay? Okay, we've locked the bubble inside the balloon. We've had a bubble flow freely inside the balloon, and now it's time to show you how to release a bubble out of the balloon. We call that the cannonball. So, make a separate little ball from a different color. Now remember, make sure the width of the ball does not exceed the width of the balloon, so that way it goes in and out easier. And we're going to take that ball, we're going to push it into the balloon with the 3-finger push, see? All the way in until we get to the top, and then 1 finger push all the way down. Lock it in there. Yeah, I use my twist fingers just to yank my twist hand right out of there. Now I'm going to lock it with an apple twist right above that bubble. Okay, here we go. Just like that. Now this is what I call the safety. This is a gun, this is a bullet, that's your safety. Okay? Now I'm going to trap the air by twisting it on the other side of the balloon, of the little bubble there. I'm going to do a collar just to lock it in place. It can be any assembly, but in this example case it's the collar just to create a permanent joint there, okay? Now, once I've done that, the air supply between these 2 bubbles remains unchanged. This bubble is not part of the balloon, it's actually pushed inwards. If I was to release that, you would think that that bubble would just pop right out. Well, here's the deal. When I did this little trap here, the air pressure here is such. When I untwist this, then it becomes more area inside of the balloon for the same air pressure. And the air pressure will drop because it's more area for the air to fill. And because of that, it's less air pressure to push that balloon completely out. So watch what happens when I untwist this, okay? Watch. Just slowly untwist it, release it, and look at that. Stops right at the edge, and it will happen every time if you do it right. It's because it's less air pressure, because I've opened up that joint, increased the area, and the air is not powerful enough to make it, to give that final push. So now once you're ready to fire the gun, all you have to do is just give it a boom, and the bubble just comes right out. See? Alright, the next little bubble trick I'd like to show you is called the caterpillar twist. And this is not an easy one to do, but with practice you'll get good at it. Take your balloon, here we got the clear balloon so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start off with a small bubble. Now this is really important to make sure that that bubble is small, because this trick is not easy at all if you even come close to the width of the balloon. So go small. Always think small. Okay, here we go. Push the first bubble in. 3-finger push. Move to 1 finger as soon as the bubble is in. Go straight in, alright? Now when it's in, down to about the second knuckle on your forefinger, on your twist hand, hold on to the ball and then work your finger out. So now you've got the ball held there. The next part is to take and twist another small twist. Even that might be a little big. In fact, I'm going to back off and I'm going to go a little smaller. There we go. See how small that is? Now you got a nice little pocket for your fingers to go into there. Push that straight in along with the first bubble you pushed, okay? Here we go. Go all the way down to the first finger, go down to the second knuckle, and lock the second ball with your finger. Just hold on to it. Now you've got 2 in a row, 1 and 2, okay? Take and twist another small. Sometimes you gotta do it. Now, see, I let it out a little bit. We're gonna hold it in there and twist one more small bubble. Now we're down to our third bubble. And we push that in straight with the 3-finger hold. You have to go straight. If you go in and curved at all and it touches the edge, it can buckle up on you. On a hot day, this is really difficult because you don't want to touch the edges. You want to push in as straight as you can. All the way in straight, down to the 1 finger, down to the second knuckle. Now I've got 1, 2, 3. We're going to grab the last one that you did right there, hold it in place, and now grab one more small bubble. Now how far do you think you can keep on doing this? Until you can just push them all the way down the balloon? It's possible, but we're going to stop at 4, okay? Because when I do my butterfly design, which is in my Balloon Art demo series, check it out. It uses this technique exactly. Now, we're going to go with the 4th bubble. Here we go. All the way in, 3-finger push, down, and then go to 1 finger. Now when you get to the last bubble, you hold on to it, pull your finger out, twist that last bubble. See, you're not going to push it in anymore. You're just going to twist that last bubble. Now, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bubbles there to create your little caterpillar. Now, what about the rest of the balloon? Well, here's the beauty of it. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bubbles inside the balloon, and then the remainder on the outside. All you have to do is let the air out of the rest of it, and it will contract tightly around those 4 bubbles, creating your caterpillar effect. Watch, I'll just take it off like that. Let the air down. And see how it contracts around those 4 balloons? Isn't that nice? Now all you have to do, just like that, just twist it. Twist it at the first stage, 1, 2. Twist it at the second stage, 1, 2. And third stage. And that takes that outer skin and it stretches it out and conforms it to go right along with those 4 bubbles. And look at that nice little caterpillar twist you have going. Beautiful, isn't it? The next thing I'm going to cover is the technique of extending out a French poodle tail. So therefore I'm going to call it the poodle tail. So in further reference in this lesson series, a poodle tail is simply expanding the air to the tip of the balloon, making a little bubble. So on the poodle, there are a couple different ways I've seen people do it. Number 1 is to take your fingers and stretch the tip out and expand it out and make it a little easier for the air to go into. So that way when you squeeze it, the air fills it up very easily. But then again, that involves pulling and stretching on the balloon. Now the next thing I've seen done is for them to put it in their mouth and suck the air up and create the little bubble at the tip. And that's really good. Might be a couple sanitary issues, but still, it's a good technique. But I'm telling you right now, with practice, you don't have to do any of it, and you can work at the speed of light. All you have to do, it's all in the grip. That's how you do it. It doesn't matter how long the balloon is, which we will talk about. But all you have to do is take 2 fingers above the base of the skinny part there. And you want to close off the air supply to where only air can get out without expanding the balloon. So that's the key, is to trap it. Now, once I've taken my 2 fingers and I've trapped it here, then I use the rest of my fingers to cover the balloon, leaving the tip so the air only has one place to go. And then, boom! That's all you have to do is just squeeze it, hold it for a couple seconds, let the balloon kind of stretch a little bit so that way the air doesn't just pop right back down. And there you have the nice poodle tail. Okay? Now you're probably thinking to yourself, now doing that with a French Poodle is okay, but you only have to travel the air that far, so of course you can just squeeze it and make the bubble. Not hard. But can you do it with a longer piece of balloon? Of course you can. I'm going to show you right now. Make a little bubble at the base of the balloon, alright? Full length balloon. We're going to push air all the way up to the very tippy top without any pre-preparation. No stretching, no sucking, no nothing, okay? Now, I'm going to grab this little bubble in my hand, close off the exit right there so the air cannot expand the balloon once again. Now, if I have a whole assembly or a whole bunch of stuff created before this, what I could do is I could temporarily twist it right here like this, and then that will trap the air here and make it easier to force it here because the air can't escape out the bottom. But if you don't want to do that because it might distort the shape of the balloon, then use your body. Your body is a great way to keep the air trapped. So just push it against your body, get the air. Now, notice what I'm doing here. I'm going to take the balloon, and I'm going to fold it up in my hand like this. Now you don't want to twist it, you just want to fold it in your hand so that way you can keep a good grip on it and the air has nowhere to escape to except the top. So if you squeeze too hard, you're going to close off the air travel. Do not do that, just squeeze gently, but don't let the balloon expand in your hand. And then you just squeeze and boom. Just see, I went against the body, squeeze the whole thing, and my hand keeps the air from expanding the rest of it out. And voila! Alright, before we end this lesson, I just want to throw in something here. I want to show you how to make a little collar on a balloon dog or a balloon poodle, any animal that has a neck. And it's the cutest thing in the world. It's not hard to do. It just, takes patience. Okay? I'm going to take this little section of balloon here. I'm going to twist 5 bubbles out of it. Ready? 1. Now I want to go small as I can. Now if I have trouble with that first bubble because the air keeps escaping down, just kind of get a good grip on it down here. Get that little bubble. 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Now, I'm not going to lock it up here or anything. I'm just going to hold those 5. Now, the secret is not to tie it in advance. Here's a little poodle that I made earlier in the lesson. And I'm just going to hold the one end of the chain and then take the other end and put it around the poodle's neck like this. Just don't do any twisting. Now you grab the knot and the base with the same hand. Now while you're holding onto the knot with your hand, pop the rest. Now if that is twisted right there, the air is not going to escape out. The air is not going to escape out at all. See how I'm holding it there? Then I just grab that balloon right there where I was holding it. I haven't let any air out, and that's when you tie it. Tie it in a simple overhand knot. And you'll find it's actually really easy to do. It's just a matter of being patient and not tying it together till you place it around the neck. And then you have a nice little collar to go on your poodle. Alright?